Okay, and we're back for part 2 of ARK Crystal Isle's hatchery build. This is building the roof. I have just realized that I forgot to show you one very important aspect of this building. While I was out, I went ahead and built the rest of the walls up. That way you can see how this pattern actually ties in. I will show you that in a second. But I forgot to show you how to close in over the behemoth gates. So let me jump down here. Which, by the way, in case you didn't already know, it is probably best before you get up this high if you build yourself a bed or at least a sleeping bag to put on the ground for if you fall to your death, because it is very likely that that will happen. So let me get my stone walls and my hotbar. So what I did to close this in, as you can see, the pattern is continued. So I just follow the pattern down into the gate. If you're careful with your angles, come on, then you can typically get things to work for you. Sometimes they don't want to. I don't know why this is not wanting to place out there. Let me come to this side. I think ARK is just trying to be typical ARK right now. And this is going to be greenhouse. Always fun with ARK how sometimes you have to look where you don't actually want the wall to get it to place the wall where you really do want it. There we go. Now as you can see, if you look up here, it is inside the top of the behemoth, so you are fully sealed. And it is matching the pattern. Now, let me get on back up top. And I'm going to continue the pattern to the center of the house. I will show you where the center is. So, we go. Let me get my tiles back. So we go with a glass triangle, glass square, another glass triangle. Now this is where it gets interesting. I need a glass square on each side of this. Then I need my 6 circle glass triangles. This is the center of the house, both on the floor and up here. So now I wrap this in 6 squares, along with more triangles. Okay, now that we have this, this is where the real pattern begins to emerge. If I can click the right button, that is. remembering this pattern can be a little bit tricky. But it has a really interesting effect when you get it correct. Hold on now. I appear to have messed up this pattern. Let me think for just a second. Oh, I see what I've done. Okay. That's why I didn't think that that looked right. Okay. I see what I've done. I put a square in the wrong place. Then, yes. Everybody makes mistakes. Occasionally. Okay, now this is the end. So it's a triangle. Another stone. Another square. Okay. That was where I messed my pattern up. Okay, I got it. This is a very tricky pattern and a very easy one to make mistakes on if you're not careful. There we go. Whoops. Wrong button click. Yet again, it's an easy pattern to make mistakes on. This should give you a little more of an idea of what we are actually going for. Oh, nope, nope, that is not. I don't want to pick up that one. Also, be very careful what tiles you pick up, because it is very easy to accidentally pick up the tile you are standing on. And then at this height, that's where the sleeping bag I mentioned earlier will come in handy. Because from this height, survival is not guaranteed. So now that we have two of these, and it's dark so you can see better. We get up in the air, and you can see the effect we are creating. It is a very interesting effect, and it will continue on around till the back glass wall starts. So, let me get back on this, and as such, I will go back here to the back glass wall, and I will show you the pattern from there. So, here is the back glass wall. So, what we have is triangles. A square. And a triangle. Now where these explosions, as I like to see them, meet this back glass wall, it'll just be a little bit of stone on each side. So I will walk around the other side and I will do the same pattern. As I said, be very careful because it is easy to fall at this point. If you have an RG, it is very handy to have the RG up here with you and have it on follow. That way, if you fall and survive, you can simply climb on your RG and ride it back to the roof. So, now, this is what will make this a little easier. Follow your simple pattern on one side. So I did squares right here, okay? So now, you follow an ever-shrinking pattern to the center. You match all your triangles to a square with a triangle in between. This next side will be more squares, so that's where you stop, is shrinking in. Then you do squares. You had 5 last round, you'll have 4 this round. So now, triangles again, continually shrinking in. You had 4 squares last time, now it's 3. Shrink some more. Now it's 2 squares. Triangles, square, and you have reached the center hub. Once again, pretty easy. Now, you can do that going out as well. So, we'll start from here. Square, triangle, triangle on each side, flaring out. Square, square, 2. Triangle, triangle. 1 in the middle, 1 on each side, flaring out. Then we get 3. Flaring out once again. This pattern is, like I said, it's easy to follow. It's tricky on the stonework. But as far as this solid glass back goes, the pattern is fairly easy to follow. Flaring out. Now we do 5. Now, all that's left is to fill in the middle, and this will do just the same as the other one. And 5. Now your triangles. And this row is 4. A little quick on the controls there. This row is 3. This row is 2. And as you can see, the single square is already there. It's part of the center pattern. So, that has that. Get up and fly again. Whoop, too high. And as you can see, it is wide open back there in glasswork. It's all done, all nice pattern. So let's go back around here and continue our route of our explosion. So, what we will do, let's go ahead and make our little points much like we did. Oh, no, hold on. I'm looking wrong, and I done messed this up. Pick those up. We'll make our little points much like we did on the other sections. So, we'll do it like that. And like that. Yes, that is correct. Okay. So let's go around. We'll skip this one. Let's go ahead and do this one much the same way. This. One there. And triangle there. Now, this one's already done, so let's go on around the house. Once you get a feel for the pattern, it's really not that complicated. It's more annoying than it is complicated. Okay. Now, oops, wrong button. This will be a much better experience once the sun comes up, of course. Okay. So now we have... Okay, I see. 4 here. Okay, let's go ahead and do our pattern here. So we got this, and we get this. Let's game mechanics, ain't they great? All the noises that my character keeps making just because it's a little cold. And I have messed that pattern up again. Oop, wrong button. There we are. As you can see here, it is more of the same on the building technique of shrinking down as we go across through here. Whoops. You can misplace and overlap the square greenhouse ceilings with the triangles, as you've just seen. That's very easy to do, but if you're quick, you can pick them up before any real problems are caused by it. See, that's back to center. I believe that has all of our stonework done, so all that is left is filling in glass. Then I'm going to show you how to properly remove your temporary supportive structures after I show you what this roof actually looks like. I think you will like in the end what this effect actually creates. It does make a really interesting effect. Whoops. Sorry to anybody that may be watching this video with headphones on. It may have been a little loud to you. Okay. Now, if looked at from the glass wall side, you will see it gives kind of a root or even an explosion like effect. So let me go back in the house. Of course, this is the part where you would have to jump off the roof, or preferably fly off the roof if you had your bird up there with you. Open the door. Now, this is the look from underneath. And as you can see, it all centralizes on one part of the glass, and then radiates outward, kind of like an explosion, as I said. And all the stonework ties into the stone walls. So now I will show you, as I said. Now, if you had done this yourself, then these thatch ceilings would go all the way around the room to be able to build up. Because I'm in creative, when I took the break, I built it with creative. But it's the same build that I showed you from here. You just continue it around the room. Now, depending on how much of this you really want to salvage, if you want, you can go up here, and I do recommend putting down another ceiling right here. I'm going to put down stone just because price doesn't matter, but thatch will work. Oh. If you want to salvage these, you can come to the end and do it slowly, busting one ceiling at a time, backing up. Or you can just say that this material doesn't matter, because when you build it, it should be in wood instead of in stone. So you're not losing a lot of materials. So you'll stand on this one thatch ceiling, that's all that's holding that up, and bust it. And that should have fell. I don't know if it's the game effect that did that. Let me fly up here and see. Well, okay. I will take that back. Let me try that again. Apparently, my stone triangles have somehow, through the game, attached to the gate. Oh, I see. They have attached to the window on this side. Okay. So we will bust this stone triangle here. That's what. One little triangle tip held that whole thing up. So, now when I bust this triangle, the rest should fall. There they go. That's much better. Then you drop down. And then, this is the part where you actually will have to bust one at a time. Whoop. Careful not to do like I just did and fall. Oh, and don't forget to bust your wooden ladder out of the roof, which I just did. This will be busted from on top of your stone triangles, but I forgot it. So now that we're here, you'll go around, carefully walking tile to tile, busting all your thatch ceilings. And occasionally falling. It's what happens. I cannot tell you how many times I fell and died in official. Just like that. And you gotta run back over and climb up. Okay. So we're at it again. But yeah, as I said, you'll just continue around here busting all these. And I fell again. This is the joys of this process. Alternatively, since you are building with thatch against stone and glass, you can simply leave this area and not come back for more than 4 days, and all this will fall away on its own. Except for, of course, your wooden pieces that was floating in midair. You will want to bust those manually. But I just like going ahead and cleaning up my mess. Let me see. I'm almost done here. It takes a little longer going around the entire house, but it makes a nice, neat, clean appearance. Now I'll bust this one, and that'll be my ladders. And I'm all the way down to the floor. Everything is cleaned up. It's all out of the way. And that's pretty much it. I will be doing some more streams on this house. I've decided I'm going to have to break it up, judging by the amount of time I'm taking on each of these streams. So I will do another video on installing the hatchery. I will do a video on putting on the attached greenhouse, putting on the attached workshop, and some ideas of how to arrange your equipment in the workshop, and also your planter beds in the garden. I've got a few little tricks I like to use for hiding my water pipes and my electrical and various things like that. I may try to show them in this build, but I will continue this at a later time. May not be this weekend, maybe next weekend, but I hope you enjoyed, even if you fast forwarded, my build and the way my build turned out. Please click the like button if you liked it. Feel free to leave a comment. I know I may have been a little long-winded and slow building this, but it's just my building style. So have fun, and I will be back on ARK at a later time. Thanks for watching.